Eric, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. I'm gonna leave you with this video, and I guess I'll see all of you motherfuckers tonight, just because I gotta do stuff with family, um, and I gotta do some running around today. So I'm just recovering a bit on my head today. This whole SBB thing, okay? Please understand something. I know people are like, oh, AMC and oh, the market. I get it, but you need to understand how this all correlates. I had some time to think about it, and then when I look at it, I look at what type of bank SVB was versus the Wall Street banks, the big banks. SVB Bank is, best way I could put it out, they're a bank that gives out loans to small businesses, to smart startups. They're a lending bank. You go to them, you apply for a loan. Okay, different than the banks that work in the Wall Street area, the capital markets. That's a different type of banking. Okay, this bank was apparently having problems for a bit. Regulators could have come in and they could have regulated the bank and had a more seamless way of controlling everything, not leading to this. Now everybody's screaming to the high heavens. There has to be a bailout. They gotta bail out this bank. They gotta have money. Have you noticed that this didn't hit the big banks? We have way more fucking risk with much more volatile clientele than SVB had. Did SVB have to go down? Neither here nor there. No big deal. It could have been regulated, whatever. Let's say it goes down, the government takes over it, whatever. Now they're talking about the contagious stuff going all over the place. Let me tell you something. This won't spill over to the big banks. What they had to do is they had to let one bank go south, probably a couple of other little ones that'll get gobbled up by the big banks. Put fear out there, and through fear, they get the control, because whatever they're going to offer you, you're going to say yes because you're afraid. And then what you're going to have is the bailout flushing the market, the other banks, with cash, which means Wall Street, which means the party on Wall Street continues. Probably continues for about another year and a half-ish, around there. And then, goodbye dollar. I'm going to let you people know something. Remember the digital dollar talk we always had? Remember I said they're going to eventually go over to that entirely? You're still going to have the dollar, but trust me, it's going to be digital dollar until they phase everything out. The way they just did it in Africa. I'll talk about that another day. The way this affects the AMC, the GME, and the other heavily shorted places, when interest rates started to go up, nobody believed me they were going to go up. They were like, impossible. Interest rates haven't gone up in years, and they did go up. When they did go up, it started to cause a lot of problems in the market. There were some margin calls, but they were small margin calls that could be managed because the company sold off certain assets, stocks that they had, and they were able to cover it, whatever. That happened last year. Now you have an AMC. This is totally different because the SBB stuff and a couple of other little ones, no big deal, no big deal. The crisis, the financial crisis is real, but it hasn't spilled over yet. This is like something that, unfortunately, it serves a greater purpose. You cannot roll out a new monetary system and a digital dollar and social controls. You can't roll that out until you get rid of the old system. This is the old system. So right now, everybody is screaming. I see all the big fun people. They're screaming, this has to be taken care of. The whole, everybody's lobbying for the bailout. This week it has to be done. Oh my God, the crisis is coming. Yeah, okay. All I can tell you is this much. The crisis is still coming. Even if they bail it out, it'll feel good for a bit, couple of months of that. they're going to have to introduce the digital dollar at the same time. Remember I told you that pilot program was until June? Well, here you go. Understand, this is all an illusion. They'll hit a couple of small banks in the process and, oh my God, we really got to do it. But understand, at the end of the day, it's because they're switching over to a new system and they need your cooperation. The more I look at the SVB, I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. You had Kramer pumping, everybody should get into it just a month ago. And now it's at freaking worthless. And at the same time, employees are getting bonuses and the executive team was cashing out their stock. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to say anything more, but please understand on this Sunday morning what I'm telling you. The fix is in. This paves the way for the digital dollar. And digital dollars have something that I warn people about, which is they have contracts. In those contracts, the rules that they're written in on how you're going to live, spend, earn, transfer money, everything. You can't go from one system to another system without a crisis. And here is your crisis. So, happy Sunday with you and your family. I'll talk to you guys tonight. Maybe I'll do a wine lounge tonight. I'll let everybody know. It'll be good to hang out with everybody. But I just got to take a bunch of stuff. And I got to get back over to the family today. So, shine love.